In coming days, we will see the greatest manifestations of the Savior's power that the world has ever seen. Between now and the time he returns with power and great glory, during the recent open house of the Washington, D.C. Temple,
Travis Wayne Goodsell, we got breaking LDS church news. That was actually last night. It's been going on for a while now. But since I'm the only one who investigates the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I'm the only one who gets to determine when breaking news is breaking news. No other news source wants to investigate the church. No one apparently dares to molest or make afraid. I did a video on LDS family services the other day, and I noticed that people are only watching the pictures at the beginning. Yeah, you started to realize how evil this church is. And you got scared and you ran away like little babies. But the church, I've reported it. The Southern Poverty Law Center has posted this online. If I remember, I'll post it again for you in the description below. The Southern Poverty Law Center warns Americans of hate groups in America. And they've determined that this National Council for American Policy, National Council for what is it called again? Hold on, let me look it up. It'll be included in the thumbnail somehow. Oh, okay. The actual picture is labeled differently, but the one with a temple in the middle replacing the Capitol will give it to me. It's the Council for National Policy. This is their membership directory from 2014 that got leaked. And this is a reference source for anybody who wants to investigate the church. Similar to the SEC filing, the link to the church's stock investments is a source for everybody who's investigating the church. So when you see a stock price for a certain company that seems to be a little fishy, whether going up or tanking, you can check the church's filing to see if the church is involved with this. Likewise, if there's any news about some kind of conspiracy in the government involving an individual, you can check this membership directory to see if the church is involved. And that's where our video goes today. This is the secret combination in America. This is an established fact. It was leaked and the Southern Poverty Law Center has posted it online for every American to be warned about everybody in this group. And the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is directly tied to it through the Skousen family. Klingon Skousen, as I call him. Yeah, his birthright blessing son, Mark, has replaced him now that he's dead. And so it goes back to 1981, and thus they've been directly impacting national policy since then. So big news stories that you've heard about since 1981, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has been directly involved. And so when you hear about a big story in the news, hint, 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 on a certain day that shall live in infamy, and a BYU professor got up and said, no, it defies the laws of physics. There has to have been some kind of explosion at each level in order for it to be a free fall speed. Force equals mass times acceleration. Does anybody remember that from physics class? Do you take physics class, or is it all just church stuff now, since you seem to graduate at 16 years old here in Utah? I graduated when I was 18. I had to take courses to qualify to graduate from high school. Science-based. Couldn't just slough off and take art all day long. But those were all my electives. And so, yeah, I've gone over with you everything for the latter days. And I don't know if you guys are paying attention to the news, because I'm sure that Fox doesn't cover it. But now that you're anti-Fox, you're probably going to another source that definitely won't talk about it. You have to go to liberal media to hear about it. And of course you won't. And so you'll never know that the church is involved. Liberal media are clueless. They're not investigating. I'm investigating because a certain Leonard Leo is directly tied to setting up bribery from billionaires with our Supreme Court justices. And so, as this keeps being a news story, and since I've revised the videos on this Council for National Policy involving the church, I thought, let's check. Yeah, he's in there, in the membership directory. Let's give you the page number, because you're never going to check it, are you? You're just going to listen, and then you'll use your spiritual witness to determine if what I'm saying is true or not, and it's going to be not. It's not true. Church is true. Jesus! Jesus! See, all Mormons need to leave the church because we have exclusive knowledge as Mormons in regards to Lucifer's nature and character. See, Christians, they just take the Bible at its word that he's a bad guy. They don't know how bad. Mormons know how bad. And unfortunately, Mormons like to emulate Lucifer rather than Jesus, which is strange to claim that they worship Jesus and follow Lucifer. What's up with that, Mormons? Okay. Leonard Leo, there you are. Mr. Leonard Leo. Next, below Dr. John Lenskowski. Wonder if he's been in the news. What is he a doctor of? Oh, there's religious freedom. He's part of the religious freedom movement. He's involved with the United Nations. Remember when Nelson met with the President of the United Nations? Yeah, that's because of this. This secret combination. They were making a business deal with the United Nations. Leonard Leo, there he is, Executive Vice President, the Federalist Society. Yeah, the church is directly tied to the Federalist Society, the ones who put in the Supreme Court justices in the first place. And there he is, Leonard Leo. And so Jay Sekulow, you might remember him if you bothered to watch the impeachment hearing of Trump. I believe it was the second one where Jay was involved. May have been the first. Can't remember. But he was Trump's lawyer defending him, and he lost. But he's in this group too. That's why they had him be Trump's defense lawyer, because he's a part of this group that wanted Trump defended. This group put Trump in office. Remember? You didn't watch the videos. Steve Bannon is a member in this group. The Daily Beast in 2016 interviewed Steve Bannon, and Steve Bannon says, "I'm a Leninist," which means I want to destroy this nation. Well, that's great. And so, yes, he was involved with Cambridge Analytica at the time. And Cambridge Analytica was the ones who took the Facebook data, sold it to Russia. There was an in-between involved there, but they were the main people involved. And Analytica, they were involved in analytics, like YouTube, in order to silence my voice on YouTube. Well, what they were doing was taking the data from Facebook users who were lured into the little questionnaires to find out what Disney princess you were, or others more manly. And I'm Pocahontas, by the way. And the way it works is psychology. There are psychologists in here. That's the other video that everybody's only watching the pictures. And so they ask you a behavioral question and only allow you one of 4 answers. If you have an answer that's not listed there, tough. Answer it. And it forces you into their little category boxes. I saw an episode of House yesterday that talked about the category boxes of behavior. Well, so yes, you will notice a more sarcastic attitude lately since I've been watching House. That's why. And so that's used to place you in a category box. And what Russia did with it is to take that data and then tailor your political choice based upon that, and sent you advertisements to get you more into what you want for your candidate if it was Trump. And so if you were a Trump voter, they made sure you voted for Trump. I'd rather be Russian than vote Democrat. I had neighbors who were parroting that meme in speech, not just in retweets of the repostings of the Facebook things that they got from Russia. This is how Russia helped Trump win. And there was other things they were doing, numerous other things they were doing to help him win as well. But this was the one particular one that Steve Bannon was directly involved with, because he was in this group to get Trump elected. And so, yes, they were also involved with the extorting of Biden. I'm the one who's investigated this, because in October 2020, I'm waiting for the big October surprise, like they did in 2016. Trump exposed Hillary's emails, and Access Hollywood revealed the grab him by the little kitty cat video. That's the October surprise in politics. And so I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. Democrats already have their October surprise. We impeached him. He's a criminal. He confesses to being a criminal. What more do you need? And so, yeah, it was looking like Biden was gonna, yeah, he did. But Trump was setting up for months Hunter Biden and his laptop and all this secret files on his laptop and stuff. And for October, I'm thinking, okay, there's going to be something about it. Rudy Giuliani is on the case. Getting caught on camera, grabbing himself in the presence of a prostitute, or an actress playing a prostitute. In the Leonard Cohen movie. And nothing. Just crickets. Mormon crickets. That whole month. And then the election. Trump loses. Refuses to lose. That was expected. He said he was going to do that. And so he bailed on the October surprise. He purposely tanked his options for winning. He didn't even try. And so sure enough, we now find out after the election, some months later, even the liberal press had to confess that Hunter Biden is guilty of something. When previously, when it was first brought out, they were in denial that Hunter Biden was guilty, and it's been proven that he's not guilty, and blah, 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 blah. He's guilty. He pled to being guilty and got a sweet deal. As the House Speaker was quoted talking to the press about. And so, yeah, it's because Biden has been conforming to what they wanted him to do. They were holding Hunter hostage, or, well, yeah, sort of hostage. It was more compromat, the Russian term for being compromised. because of his son. And so you see in the public eye that Biden is saying, no, I'm backing off of this case, letting the DOJ do what they're going to do, which is what he has to do. But after taking office, both the Congress and Biden, which was full Democrat, the liberal press was going, awesome, finally, we can repair the damage. And they were telling us of all the things that needs to be done, the whole book-long list of things that need to be repaired and fixed. And the debt crisis was one of them. But they failed. They didn't fix all the problems. They hesitated. They didn't go fast enough. And Biden is talking about trying to work with MAGA. And this is after January 6th. Every government officer involved with January 6th, according to the 14th Amendment, must be removed from office. And they weren't. They were left in, and Biden kept trying to work with them. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, with their ties to the members in this secret combination, were working to fix the government for national policy. Leonard Leo was the tie to the Supreme Court. Getting them on the Supreme Court and connecting them with people who bribed them to make policy decisions. You know, like overturning Roe v. Wade. And what did the Democrats do? They let it happen. And now, a year later, oh, we really need to start the fire again to get women's rights back. Why haven't you been doing it this whole year? Why haven't you been doing it the previous year when you first took over? That was the first thing you knew you had to do, was fix the Supreme Court. And you didn't. So, yeah. Now you got a little more backstory if you actually watch the news, not what you want to hear news. See, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a liberal, but I know how to identify the news from their little table talk discussion crap, their opinions. So like Young Turks, for example, they're always testing new people out for their show. And there's one guy who was allowed to fill in, do some reporting, reading off of a script, and put his own opinions in. And he would read the script for the actual news having to do with debt, or not debt, evictions. Now that the COVID protection is over, Americans are seeing a high number of evictions as a result of this. And he's trying to evict-splain. So yeah, that ended that video quick. You know, pictures are done. I'm out. Good times. So yeah, this is how you investigate, guys. This is a secret group that wants to destroy America and return to a monarchy. The Book of Mormon warned us of this group, prophesied of them. Ooh. If you're ex-Mormon and former Mormon who've been watching my channel and actually watching and listening to the real church history, they know that it's because of William Morgan. He found out about this plot for our day and was working with Joseph Smith Sr. to write a book to warn us. But on 9/11/1826, they found him and were threatening him to be silent. And so Joseph Smith Sr., as the Master Mason, had to step up and help his fellow brother in Freemasonry. Helped him flee the country to save his life, and thus save his family's life, even though he had to be separated from them. And then took the responsibility to finish the book and get it published. And there was a little incident with Junior and Martin Harris, about 116 pages that had already been written. And Martin Harris stole them to show his anti-Mason committee in Palmyra. And so Junior had to be put in a timeout for a whole year until Section 10 came out in 1829. Bruce, that's a typing error, isn't it? Maybe the church should correct it and put 29. How long did it take Joseph then to finish the book? Which had to be done from scratch because he supposedly had Emma helping him, and that didn't go well at all. Yeah, no duh. It's because she wasn't involved. But Oliver Cowdery is said to have stepped in the final month and a half, not 3 months, month and a half, to finish the book. Well, he was the babysitter. His work was done with Sidney Rigdon, and so nobody's watching, so why am I even bothering? Nobody cares to know the truth. They just want to have Q tell them what to believe.